All right, I
Hello,
believe that we
everyone,
are
and welcome
live
to
now.
the second session of our Changeling the Lost here on Tim's channel, graciously hosting it. Skankin' Spitz here as your storyteller, and yeah, I don't know if you guys want to do a quick, short little character snapshot again, and then one of you can go ahead and do the recap from the previous session.
You want to start off, Bash?
Okay, I'll get the ball rolling. So pretty well, last session it started off where we were in Arcadia. We were exploring this very heavily industrial area after our keeper suddenly went missing. Like we stopped getting orders, the machines went quiet, and all that. So we were kind of trying to find out what's going on. So as we started exploring, investigating, we started regaining our memories a little. We started to remember how to walk properly and how to speak properly, and we remembered our names and so on. Um, we left. We progressed through the hedge, and I believe we stumbled upon a small little trinket store that was filled with a bunch of stuff where we seem to have gotten tricked into having to watch the place. We managed to trick someone else into watching it for us. This large minotaur-like man, and then we leave. We got out of there, and I think we evaded the hunting horn, like the horns or the sound of the horns of hunting parties, and then we found this man next to this broken down kind of steampunk like truck type thing, and so he was in a lot of trouble and he needed help. My character Neil Shaw gave him a hand. And we managed to get it in working condition and on the road. And as we were driving, it was Tim's character, Eldon Swick, who discovered, if I remember correctly, it was dismembered body parts in the back of the truck, and it just kind of left off on that note. And it was, if there's anything I'm missing out, feel free to
Okay.
chime in.
There was a few things you missed out on. In Arcadia, my sort of Dorrance was being the grease, oil, liquid inside all of these chaotic pipes that angled and bent and went all over the place in these sort of hellish machines. And Mr. Neil Shaw was the sort of mechanic that was taking care of everything. So we had this sort of bond right off the start where he was taking care of the machines and I was the grease inside the machines. He actually took me out of Arcadia in this like bottle or like cup, and my face was literally floating on the top of this surface of this oily liquid. During the course of the session, my body started to form rather painfully as my bones were reinserted into my skin and flesh as it started to like sort of propagate out of the bottle. I think at one point there was like fumes of gaseous vapors come out of it. We also met an ant-like creature who said that he knew a lot of things were happening because he could understand the wind. There were briar wolves that were part of that hunting pack. Briar wolves? I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
And the last we left off, we were headed towards Goblin Market. With changeling parts underneath us, because apparently, those are a valuable commodity here in the hedge. So I believe I think that's most of what happened.
Sure, I think
So I
you
guess back
guys
to you,
pretty
John.
much got. Cool. I think you guys pretty much got all of it, with the exception of the the organ thieves inside of the hedge. But there was that. And of course, you guys can all check this out. This is all the first session's on my channel. But yes, I suppose the most important thing and where we left off is yes, the characters had the choice between, of course, they're trying to return home. They had the choice of deciding between relying on a mysterious hag of some sort, or going to the goblin market. They chose the goblin market. Seemed like, I suppose, the safest bet. And so, yes, we'll open up. It's actually a couple days have passed since our last session. A couple days of riding along on this sort of steampunk carriage of sorts. I mean, it's not. There's no horses or anything, but it's obviously very Victorian looking. Obviously driven by one-armed Sam, the friendly enough, well, really, I suppose the only friend that you guys have made thus far, really, in your ventures. And you guys have gone through, of course, a couple days have passed, and you're on a vehicle, so you guys have you've not really stopped in these couple of days, so you've seen quite a bit of the hedge. But both of you actually have drifted off to sleep. And sleep is another thing that neither one of you have done since your journey into Arcadia, into the hedge. And so once you do fall asleep, each of you is pretty much out for about a good 70, maybe 60 or 70 hours or so. You just luckily you're in good company, but your body's just sort of shut down and well rest. So it's about when, I don't know which one of you wants to awaken first or at the same time, but when you guys begin to wake, it's about apparently maybe 5-6 o'clock evening time. There's sort of a soft light coming through the brambles and the thorns and the branches. Yes, it's about evening time in the hedge, and you're rolling along with one-armed Sam.
That light's terrible. Got me right in the eye. Hey, Mr. Shaw, wake up. Yeah, wake up. I start kicking.
Shaw's getting up. He's like, oh god. He's like trying to kind of stretch his arms back into place, because his arms have shrunken a bit, because they used to be like long and gangly, kind of alien arms, and now they're starting to get a bit back to normal. But he's trying to oh my god, it feels like I've been out for weeks. Oh my god.
That was nice to sleep, huh? I know I haven't done that in a while. It's hard to sleep when you're viscous fluid.
Oh man. So I guess you're feeling about as bad as you look right now, huh?
Yeah, thanks.
I'm just bugging you.
Well, looks like we're still traveling a little bit. Hey, Sam, are you alive? Where are you?
Yeah, we're still going. You sort of hear his voice from outside the outside the canvas. Should be just a couple more hours till we're at the market.
Limbs, make sure he hasn't hacked us to pieces.
As Eldon picks himself up off the ground, you both, well, Shaw notices first, but you both notice a sort of obscene amount of slime and goo that he has sort of left behind him where he was sleeping in the night. So much so that as he rises, he's considerably less wet and gooey and gelatinous than he ever has been. Now he's more just sort of clammy. He certainly has his wet places, but you could sort of see this slime and this goo dripping off of him. And
Yeah, sorry about that, Sam. I don't usually wet the bed like that.
oh, I don't even want to know, man. He can't see you from where he is right now, but he sounds a bit worried.
We almost there.
Yeah, we should be there in a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half. If you get up here and help me, we can maybe get there sooner.
Alright, what do you need help with up there?
Well, just come up here and take a seat next to me. Should be room for both of you.
So I...
All right. Sure.
the Shaw just kind of looks over at Swick and just shrugs, goes.
You boys done much traveling in the hedge?
The hedge? No. Remember at one point we got chased around by some crazy folk trying to cut this guy up.
Is that what this place is called? The hedge?
Yeah, that's what most people call it. The thorns, the hedge, the barrier between.
Well, it's not as fucked up as Arcadia, but it's definitely not normal.
Well, we don't have any. It's more of a free-for-all out here, I suppose, for better or worse. It certainly is not without its dangers.
Speaking of dangers, what's this goblin market like?
Yeah, how are we sure that we're not going to run into anyone else trying to cut us up over there?
Well, just don't make any agreements with anyone to cut you up. No one can do anything against your will or force anything on you upon the market. There's guards, there's a law of the land, everything's very cut and dried. However, you can be swindled, I suppose, if you're not careful. But I reckon you boys are looking more to get out of here than cut a deal with some hobs.
Hobbs? There's those little freaky things with the wheelbarrow and all the junk?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it sounds like it. Sort of a catch-all.
Those guys are a bunch of assholes.
Well, now it's just sort of a catch-all for denizens of the hedge. I suppose by all rights, I'm a hob.
Sorry about that then.
Oh, I mean, no offense at all. Just clarifying for you. Just clarifying. At any rate, transportation works a bit differently out here than it does on either side. You see, things aren't exactly as spatially aware as you might be led to believe that they are. Things are a bit more mutable.
I look over at Mr. Shaw like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Mr. Shaw's looking back and he's just like, gives him like a shrug right up to his ears.
What? What do you mean, mutable?
Well, some people say that you can get to where you're going faster in the hedge if you concentrate on it. If you think about it, it'll happen. Oh, well, I mean, that's a very simplistic way of putting it in a nutshell. But some people hold to this theory. Now, I've done quite a bit of traveling in the hedge myself. Unfortunately, I'm almost always by myself. other than a few times when I pick up a passerby in need like y'all's here. So I sort of get where I get at about the same speed. But perhaps if we tried to do this together, we could achieve something greater.
Hey,
So
hey,
they-
Mr. Shaw, you think we should, like, meditate and shit? Is that what he's talking about?
Well, you're trying to say we just wish ourselves there, we'll get there faster.
Sort of, yeah. Now, certainly, I understand, at least to your knowledge, you boys have never been to the market before. It helps to have a picture in your mind of the place or individual you're looking for. And yes, you can seek out individual items or people in the hedge simply by focusing on them. I don't mean to discomfort y'all. There are means and steps you can do to make this more difficult. But indeed, you can track people in the hedge, or so they say.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know what to think of that, but he looks over at Mr. Swick. Well, I don't know. What do you say?
I guess, like, I'll sit like this with my legs and, like, yeah, the market?
Well, hang on now.
Market.
Hang on now a second. Luckily for you boys,
Market.
Simmer down now, simmer down. Luckily for you boys, I'm a bit of an artist here. Well, nothing I like to brag about, but I do sketches from time to time. Pretty good with my hands, you know. He uses his cybernetic hand to sort of hand you just, you know, a plain piece of parchment with you know, sort of a crude pencil drawing. It just sort of looks like some nondescript kiosks in sort of a clearing in a forest of some kind. And it looks like, you know, there's lights, like little baubles floating about in the air, sort of lighting it.
Wow, these are some really crappy houses or whatever the hell they are. Alright. Huts. Yeah, like, think like a hut. Are we there yet?
Mr. Shaw, he's like looking at the picture, like with one eye he's looking at the picture and the other eye he's looking out the cart to see if like it's going any faster. So he's like, man, what kind of, this is a crock of horse shit right here.
Yeah, I don't think this is working, man. I think you're like selling us some bull. Hut. Dirty little hut.
Oh, wait a second now. At that point, he sort of makes a sharp turn, steering the wagon what looks to be like straight into the hedge. But you notice as both of you probably gasp and hold on tight, but you notice right before you enter it or you hit it, you notice a slight blur, almost like lines when people are very drunk, or like a mirage or something. And he just sort of pulls right into this, and there's no resistance at all.
Like Shaw's just kind of like backed into his seat, just like, holy shit, as like he took that turn.
Please keep
drive.
Please keep all arms and legs inside the vehicle at this point. he says, and sure enough, you guys do. For it seems as though you're just surrounded by. I mean, it's reacting almost like fog or mist, but you know, it's got the hedge, sort of, you can see the silhouettes of thorns and brambles and the green and the blacks sort of coming at you. But yeah, all these things are sort of whoosh, wisp away past you guys. And you continue in this manner for only a couple minutes, and then you sort of fade out, come out from this, and you find yourself on a road that doesn't look too different from the one you were on, I suppose. However, it's dark outside. There's no moon in the sky or stars. However, it's not pitch black for some reason. But you guys do see a light ahead of you guys on this road.
What the hell happened to time? It's like later and dark. You like some wizard or something?
That's the thing. Time don't really work the same in our world as it did in your world, or as it does in your world. To me, it's a bit disconcerting that when I visit Czechoslovakia or Sweden, I can't depend on it always being the same time of day in the respective places. So, to each his own, to each his own. The hedge does have its own laws. It does have laws of physics, I can assure you.
So, like, it's all like Einstein and shit in here.
Yeah, I guess. Well, looks like, is it your destination up ahead here? He sort of pulls some levers. Some steam comes out of this, sort of gliding to a halt. Well, I've got business up on ahead with this hag, but I wish the best of luck to yous. And well, shit, here. He sort of rummages around. You hear some metal moving about. He pulls out a little gear, hands it to one of you. Here, take that, and well, if you ever wish to come in contact with me again, hedge side, perhaps you can, well, you got a trinket of mine, so based on what we just found out, maybe it shouldn't be too hard to come across each other.
Hey, well, thanks a lot for the ride, by the way. I don't know how we would have gotten out of that situation back there. Would have got chewed up.
I don't know how I would have got out of that situation back there. Y'all could have just walked on. I'm sure the Briar Wolves would have been more interested in my load of goods than y'all's butts. But either way, much thanks.
Better to not find out. Anyways, safe travel.
For real.
Yeah, thanks for your ride. I guess I'll just like spin around 3 times and say Sam, Sam, Sam with one arm, and then you'll like pop out of the hedge. Is that how that shit works?
Maybe
spin around a few times and like throw it on the ground.
That'd be convenient if that is the case. I'd be careful. I'm usually on my rig here, so all of me might come busting through wherever you summon me from. But, shoot, it's worth a try. Should be interesting at the very least.
Warden, well, if we're up a shit creek, we'll give you a call.
So, you know, he starts his vehicle and makes his merry way down. You know, there's this path on the hedge that he was making his way down, the one you guys were going, and then there's sort of a little offshoot, another path where these lights are.
So, Mr. Shaw, so it sounds like if they start talking some shit about, do you want to do this, yes or no, we shouldn't answer. Is that right? Like, we're not supposed to answer things.
Man, once I get there, I'm probably not even going to say a word to anyone and not look anyone in the eyes. Like the guy said, you don't want to make any deals.
Talking and yeah, no deals.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start walking, and if we get all fucked up, then we'll do the best we can.
So,
Sure.
so we're heading towards the light, I guess.
Yeah, you
I
guys
don't know.
can
Where
tell
else do you
that
think we should go?
Let's go for the light.
Um. So yes, you guys make your way. And as you around the corner, sure enough, it's just sort of a large clearing in this hedge. And by this point, the hedge, the thorns are, there's no trees, no really semblance of trees. The hedge at this point is all hedge and is all bushy. And the thorns at this point aren't necessarily that big. I mean, big enough to certainly do damage and still sharp as hell. But the hedge, this part of the hedge has an entirely bushy sort of a look to it, more than a forest. But you guys come into this clearing, and I suppose it looks a bit like the crude drawing. There's various kiosks set up of different sorts. People that all seem to be selling their wares, buying, selling, and trading. You guys, of course, the folk operating these kiosks are not human entirely. There is what appear to be a husband and a wife that don't look too dissimilar from the short hobs that you guys met before, the little workers. They're only about 3 foot or so. They seem to be in a heated argument. They seem to just be fighting to fight. It doesn't seem like they're actually passionate about what they're doing. They're just sort of bitching at each other. Well, you assume that they're husband and wife anyway, and they're just sort of bitching at each other as they pull some stuff out and take some stuff back. There's actually one person that looks human. It's an incredibly attractive woman. She's got sort of strawberry blonde hair with a slight wave to it that comes down, and she has her little, she has like a rug set out there on her little square, or her little. She doesn't have any kiosk or a briefcase, a bag. She doesn't have anything. She's just sitting there on a stool, and an incredibly attractive woman. There, for some reason, there is there's quite strangely enough, there's what appears to be a floating cloak or a floating hood. There's no body or anything that goes along to it. It's just a hood, a purple, a dark sort of royal purple hood cloak that's just sort of ethereally floating there. You do see 2 sort of a bright blue eyes. Incredibly strange, no emotion at all, sort of glowing out from the darkness of this cloak. You see another kiosk that assumably has no one there at all manning it. There are all manner of things going on, people mulling about through these. There are, of course, like I said, this place does have security. There are guards who don't look too, they look pretty, almost comical, pretty textbook fairy tale, very much Ocarina of Time guards. They've all got like the plate mail, and you look over the 2 that are closest to you. One is sort of built like me. He's all tall and thin, and the other one's all short and fat. And each one of them, their armor sort of overlaps and has spots that it doesn't cover. It's sort of mishmash, and the tall man sitting there, he's got a long, thick sort of Western style mustache, and he's standing there with his pike, talking to the other guard. The thing that strikes a chord in you guys first, however, is a creature that seems to be perpetually cooking. This creature is almost sort of a frog or amphibian-like creature. He's probably about the size of a person, give or take, maybe a bit bigger. However, he sort of stands close to the ground. As his legs are sort of built like frog legs, and he sort of sits there. He's got his hands. His hands are pretty humanoid. His arms and his hands. He's got an extra pair of arms, so he's got four of them swinging around, and he's got like a butcher knife, and he's grabbing. He's surrounded. He's in the middle of like barrels of apples and various types of food. All of them seem pretty mundane from what you guys have seen. From what you guys can see, a couple look kind of strange, kind of hedgy, but for the most part, they look pretty normal human stuff. At any rate, he's going about sort of cooking all of this, and he's cooking it on top of his back, inside of his back. His back is like almost like a gourd that's been hollowed out. You don't know if it has been hollowed out or if these creatures are born this way or what the deal is. However, he's cooking a stew of sorts on his very back. He's sort of throwing stuff in it, and it's bubbling like a cauldron. He's got sort of big bulbous frog eyes, and also his tongue, of course, is incredibly long and is prehensile. He's grabbing, stuff with it and throwing it up in there and offering it to people. And there's a line of various other changelings, other hobs, and it's the Goblin Market. There could be some true fae in here. Even it's really all and anything goes here, as you guys can see. So, what do you want to do?
Hey, Mr. Shaw. I think I'm scared. Look at all these freaks. Holy shit.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry
It's
about
like 13 people had nightmares, and then they all just like kind of like came out of the ground, and they started dancing around like freaking weird marionettes. This place is fucked up.
Mr. Shaw kneels down to Mr. Swick. He's like, "Yeah, tell me about it. This place gives me the creeps." But I don't know. I got a feeling about those two over there. As he points to the couple that seem to be just perpetually bickering at each other.
You mean that racket? Oh God, they just keep going on and on. Holy, their voices are they're like piercing.
Yeah, I know, but maybe they wouldn't lie to us about a way out. I don't know.
You see, as other as if you guys are sort of wandering that direction or just looking over there, you see as other customers sort of comes up to peruse their items or to open dialogue with them, they sometimes acknowledge the customers, but still just keep fighting and are entirely abrasive, and even most of they're even a bit abrasive for most of these weirdlings.
So at that point,
that I guess them. I don't know. Fuck it. Let's just go talk to the couple. And
all right.
Eldon starts walking towards him.
Yeah, Mr. Shaw's kind of following behind Eldon.
I guess Mr. Swick is leaving a little oily trail behind him as he goes.
Yeah, so yeah, Mr. Shaw would be kind of scooping a little up and rubbing it on his joints like it's Rub A535 or something. Like he's just like greasing his joints. That's it,
Mr. Swick will sort of slick his long black hair out of his eyes and sort of like pull it, and it sort of slops over his back.
Shaw just kind of like waits in that puddle that you leave as you kind of go up to the booth. He waits in the puddle and just like soaks it up.
Hey! Stop your bitching! What? We want to talk.
Yes. Yeah. How may I help you? The woman says.
I look back at Mr. Shaw like I don't know what the hell to say.
We just need to find a
I
way.
look back real quick and look around the kiosk.
So
The-
yeah, Mr. Shaw like whispers to Mr. Swick, we just need to find a way out.
The man is sort of standing there. He was busy doing stuff, but as you two approach, he takes a decidedly closed off stance. Doesn't say anything. Well, what is it that you're looking for? What's brought you here today?
Well, we were just wondering if there's an exit from this area.
Guards can help you with that. We don't serve your kind here.
See,
What?
this is the sort of thing that I'm talking about. This is the reason why they don't want us here anymore. They start bickering amongst themselves again.
But
Yeah, what the hell is your problem, asshole? Holy shit, you fucking ass. Damn it.
yeah, at that point, Mr. Shaw, he's like, wait, now hold on a second. What do you mean you're kind?
You're kind. You're owned by someone. You're not a free man.
Oh, okay.
See it
No.
written all over you. Some of us don't mind, but some of us don't take kindly to your kind coming through our parts, taking away our business, our services, our goods.
Yeah, the thing is, though, we have no idea what happened to our keeper. He could be dead for all we know.
Eldon starts running his hands through his hair, collecting like some greasy slime and oil.
Well,
Whenever
fine.
he-
You know what? Just because
Whenever
I
he
wanted
opens his mouth, whenever he opens his mouth real big, Eldon is just gonna throw a glob of that greasy, oily hair gel type substance right in his mouth.
Well, just because I don't want to deal with my wife bitching at me, lady.
I'm like looking at the man and looking at Swick. I'm like, man, what the hell are you doing?
At any rate, he takes a seat on a stool.
At that point, Mr. Shaw's like trying to like wipe it off like his face and like trying to clean it, like getting it like in his joints, kind of, but trying to make it seem like he's cleaning him off. Like, oh man, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. My friend's just got like a weird twitch here and there. Are you okay?
Ignore the guy entirely and start talking to the woman. You're much
Yes,
kinder
and
than
she
him.
does the same.
What do you see in this little shit?
Well, we used to work well together. That much I can say. It's just times have been hard lately. Things have been weird. What with all the privateers and everything.
What is that?
Well, I want to speak out of turn here, and I'm not really abreast on the hard and fast facts of the situation, but there have been rumors and alleged evidence of increased loyalist activity as of late. Loyalist, meaning, well, excuse me, I don't know how to be politically correct here. I don't know what you would like me to refer to you as, but your kind, people that were taken and changed. Some of some of them seem to have strong ties to their captors, unfortunately. And they have no quandaries about enforcing the gentry's will upon other unwitting changelings. I'd best be careful if I were you. This, I suppose, doesn't affect us directly, not being changelings. However, much of our business is. And our partner has gone missing. We fear him dead.
Well, I don't know about Mr. Shaw over there, but I don't ever want to go back. I think I'd rather die. That bastard locked me up in pipes. I didn't see anything for however long I was there. Years? I don't even know. And sorry about your missing friend.
Oh, I'm sure the situation will resolve itself sooner rather than later. At any rate, my husband, although he is quite a jerk, there was a bit of truth in what he said. I'm afraid that our wares won't have much use to you. You see, we specialize in products for hobs, not changelings. You look around and, you know, things at this table look, I guess, sort of similar to things in the niche. They're just sort of a mishmash, hodgepodge of various items that all look to be mundane. I mean, you're free to. I'm sure we can make an agreement if you really want any of these things. I just don't see how any of them will be of great use to you two. I'm sure that other kiosks here have many things that could appeal to some such as yourself. And if you are searching for a way out, well, I suppose I'd recommend asking the guards. They seem to be the most well-versed in the local area. They are the ones who arrange for the market to go where it goes.
That's right. Shaw, you're all quiet and stuff. What's going on?
Shaw looks up.
Poke him.
Shaw looks up at Swick and says, "No agreements. No agreements."
All right. All right. Let's. Yeah. Good luck with getting all that crap out of your mouth. We're going over here.
Y'all have a good evening now.
I guess I'll start walking towards the strawberry blonde on the mat. As she looks the least threatening, but perhaps she's the worst. I don't know. But Eldon will sort of creep over to her, and he looks like real paranoid. He's like kind of hunched down, and he's walking, and he's looking at her like, you know, she's gonna sprout like fangs out of her eyes or something.
There's no need to hide your face, my child.
Excuse me.
Yes?
My nose is kind of freaky looking. I'm sorry.
Your nose is completely fine. I've never seen another nose quite like it. Unique, that's to be sure. That is not something to be ashamed of.
Well, we're lost, and the couple back there said to talk to the guards.
Shaw's looking.
Yeah.
Shaw's like looking around to see if she has like a surgical bag on her.
She has nothing on her. The only thing within her area is the rug that the stool is upon and the stool that she is upon. You know, she's wearing a dress, but there's nothing there besides that.
Shaw kind of turns to her and says, "So what are you peddling here?" There's got to be something that brings you to this market.
Why, compliments, of course. What else, my good man?
Are you complimenting others, or are others complimenting you?
One and the same.
Hmm.
Does it not seem like a fair deal?
Yeah, I guess so.
Many
She
that,
said deal.
many that,
She said deal. No deal. No deal.
I do not wish to take advantage of you. I do not pride myself on any unscrupulous, underhanded dealings as such. Everything is to be taken at face value when you come to see me. I almost told you my name. How foolish would that be of me? At any rate, the vast majority of clients that I have, well, not to stroke my own ego by any means, but unfortunately most of them are not blessed enough to interact with individuals who treat them as they treat others. And so it is a service, just like any others.
So what? You're saying you give people compliments, and then they say like you're hot, and they like your hair, and that's it? It doesn't. How does that work? Why would you waste your time doing that?
That can be it, or that doesn't have to be it. It can be whatever we want it to be. Well, you have already partaken in this.
Oh, damn it!
Do not feel as though you owe me any compliments. I do not work on a one-for-one basis or anything such as that. I have received a fair enough amount of compliments in my time, and I'm sure I'll have more people sitting on my every move, waiting for me to give them the time of day. So, if you do not wish to continue this conversation, you may continue. No hard feelings. She says and gives you a gentle smile. However, I do not lie either. Well, I try not to lie either. I truly do believe that your nose is unique.
Oh.
Eldon will sort of walk away from her, trying not to say anything else.
Hurry up! I want to.
Sir.
Hurry up, you guys! I want to turn. You guys turn around and see sort of a lumbering cyclops walking up.
I back away.
As you guys go a bit further into the market, there's of course the floating cloak and the kiosk with no visible, at least no apparent person manning it. But also, now that you've gone a bit deeper into the bowels of the goblin market, another kiosk. You guys become aware of another kiosk. This one is also manned by a woman. She's wearing an all black sort of robe. She has a hood on. Although you can see her face, she's pale. She's got very sharp, very fine features. Jet black hair sort of comes down, sweeps over the side. And you see very sort of she looks to have also sort of a hodgepodge of various things at her kiosk. Although although these look noticeably more fantastic than none of them are mundane, really.
Hey, Mr. Shaw, we're just sort of wandering around like aimless assholes. What are we doing? Do we just talk to everybody? I think we're gonna say the wrong thing, like that chick back there is gonna steal my soul or something.
Yeah, I had that vibe for a second too. Well, I think our priority should be finding the guards, but I don't know. A lot of these crowds kind of catch my eye.
It's about
Oh, go on.
it's about that point that you guys have had a feeling now ever since you woke up that both. I mean, you guys haven't talked about it or anything, but you guys each had a feeling that's a very very strange, sort of like mildly uncomfortable feeling that's vaguely familiar, but neither one of you could really put your finger on. And at this point, that feeling comes back in droves, and both of you independently, more or less at the same moment, probably realize that you're hungry. You haven't eaten in who knows how long, and your stomach probably exists again.
So I just hear, and like I look down and this stomach is kind of like rumbling.
Oh, I want some mac and cheese.
Oh God, feels like I'm gonna die. Oh man, should we maybe try and find something to eat?
I keep seeing a picture of my mom making stuff on the stove. She was a terrible cook. Like hot dogs and macaroni and cheese was their staples. But wow, I kind of miss her. I wonder whatever happened to her and Dad. I think they broke up.
I can't remember.
What do you think? What do you think's happened back there? Back where we came from?
You know, I have no clue if that place even exists. Who knows? Maybe this whole thing's just some crazy dream. I'll wake up eventually.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that all the stuff that I remember might not be real? That this might be... This crazy, fucked up place is reality? Is that what you're telling me?
Ouch.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what the hell to think anymore. They're both just kind of bickering in the middle of this market. We're both discussing philosophy.
What's that guy with the eyes? The eyes are just like... They're like, they're just floating out there like... They're gonna like fall in your mouth when you walk by them. Ugh, it creeps me out. Yeah, you, eyeball man. What's your problem?
Come over here, please. Yes, I'm glad you saw me trying to get your attention.
Away from my mouth.
Come a little bit closer, will you?
Stop
Yes.
moving like that. You're freaking me out.
You... yes, both of you, it seems. Both of you are skilled individuals. We could use some of those skills around here.
Skills. I was like
Yes.
motor oil for years. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'm rarely mistaken, but if I'm not mistaken, you, and he's looking at Eldon, you are quite stealthy, are you not?
I guess I'll leave a greasy pile wherever I go, so I don't make a lot of noise.
There has been
What?
quite a lull in the sneakiness market as of late. If you could loan out just a fraction of your stealth capabilities, I could permanently give you another skill of your choosing. And of course, it would be on loan. You would have your skill returned to you at an agreed upon time.
Would you stop doing that? You're making me sway. Freaking me out.
Now when you look away from it, it seems like the whole world is swaying. and he's standing still.
Ah, damn it. Yeah. Mr. Shaw, what do you think? Should we help this guy? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. What the hell's the point of all this?
I look over at Eldon, and Mr. Swick says, "Let's just walk away."
I just sort of like do this and look down at the ground.
I can give you most skill sets that you require, but if you do not wish to trade, no harm, no foul.
Well, listen, I'll be honest. This is between you and him. I don't feel comfortable with this trade, so I'm gonna walk away from this one.
I look into the bugly eyes.
Well,
I look over Mr. Shaw leaving.
what are you talking about? Like, what would you give me? I don't understand.
What do you want to be better at? We always have fighting. People always want to get better at fighting. Perhaps you wish to have a bit more book smarts than you've had before, and you don't want to take the time to get them. I can give you them in a split second. There is no danger, nothing to worry about, no strange surgery, no swapping of anything. It's simply an agreement.
You guys and your agreements.
I can assure you I'm operating within the market protocol.
What
It's
about like
entirely
being able to
legal.
walk around the hedge and know where the hell I'm at? I want to get out of this place, but it's so confusing.
Ah, yes, you look for something a bit more specific than a skill set. You are looking for a boon, something that would be ingrained into people, something that you do not just come upon. Well, you're in luck, for we have such an ability.
So wait, if we do this like deal thing and we like, I'll be able to get out of here.
You can. I can give you something that can help you locate entrances, gateways, and safe gateways more reliably and more consistently. However, such a thing is not quite as common as a regular skill set. If you wish to make such an agreement, it will cost you 2 fractions of skill, or one of your base attributes, something that makes up your person. I understand this is perhaps a great price to pay. However, you understand this sort of thing is not easy to come upon.
Mr. Shaw,
Or if
I'm
you
gonna
wish-
do it. Gonna do it, Mr. Shaw. This could be really bad, but yeah, sure. Whatever the hell
It's up,
you want. Just
it's up
just
to
I
you.
can
take it.
assure you.
I want to learn how to get out of here.
It's up to you, Mr. Swick. The choice is yours.
The guards take no duplicitous behavior. I can assure you that if there is anything underhanded, I will be forced to pay for it 7 times over, and you will be reimbursed.
Just.
It seems as though
What do you
you're
want that I
new
have?
at
Just
well,
just take it.
as I said, I could use a bit of your sneakiness. However, I don't want to deplete you of all.
Done.
I
Just take it.
two portions of your sneakiness, or you can split it between your stealth and something else if you desire.
Just take two parts, 2 pints, whatever the hell you whatever you quantify.
Oh no!
Thank you.
Twinkle toes in the dark. Just take it.
All right, so a little thing starts levitating. He has no hands or limbs or body, but a little canister, a little clay jar starts levitating and comes up to you. With the top of it just opens and you just feel a light. You don't feel, but you hear the sound of something sort of rushing out of you and assumably going into this bottle, which then goes back on the thing, and then he produces what looks like a vial of some sort that he then levitates over your head and begins to pour on you. And it's sort of a bright green liquid that sort of covers you and begins to drip down a bit before sinking into your pores.
That's not actually too bad. Actually, it feels kind of nice. Oh, that whole sucking thing out of my mouth.
And you now have the hedge sense. You now have the hedge sense, Merritt.
Hedge sense.
I believe that's what it's called.
Is that like I can like walk around, and you said like if like a tree has like a hole in it, and you could jump in that shit and come out somewhere else. That's what you're talking about. Like maybe that's a way out.
Yes, anything that resembles a doorway can be used as a gateway in or out of the hedge. Each gateway will provide the same wormhole, as it were, every time. However, simply because 2 doors are 2 feet away on this side doesn't mean that the 2 locations will necessarily be analogous in wherever you're going. So be careful. However, yes, assuming this worked correctly, you should be able to find and sense stable gateways easier. And I thank you.
I guess I should say thank you back. I hope I can use this to get out of here. Just stop looking at me.
I'll turn around and walk away from him towards over to Mr. Shaw.
Tell your friends.
Well, at least he didn't take
I
anything.
walk over to Mr. Shaw and I'm swaying like this, and then I sort of shake my head and.
Damn it!
Mr. Shaw's just kind of straightening you out. He's like, well, you still got all of you left. So.
Yeah, I think he might have given us the way out of here if I can find like a gateway or like a branch bent over like a door, and I don't know. I'll be able to see stuff. I hope I did a thing that was good. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out eventually. Now I'll just have to put it to some good use.
I don't know about you, but I'm super hungry. Do you want to eat something out of that frog's back? I mean, that sounds disgusting, but it actually smells pretty good.
You know what? Smell of that's just tearing me apart. Let's do it.
One already
So
wants.
you
Like,
guys go.
he's
and
got to
get
want
in line.
something. How long do you think you're gonna have to wait?
There's a picture of one-armed Sam, by the way. Yeah.
You'll have to post that.
So the line is quite long. So, you guys slowly make your way up this line. It's long, but it goes pretty fast. And people are just, or if you want to call them people, individuals are just, I suppose they're people, are just getting their, various rations. Most of them are, he grabs a bowl with one of his arms, slops some soup into it with his other one. He uses one set of arms to serve people, the other set, and his tongue to continue to do his culinary stuff. And a couple people, most people take the bowls. A couple of people opt for just give me an apple or just let me have a piece of dry food, to which he obliges them. And each person in turn, it seems just offers gratitude of some sort. And you guys are slowly making your way up this line. As you do, you're behind a strange sort of a character. It looks like a cross between the Grim Reaper and a zebra.
Shaw leans over to Mr. Swick and says, "Maybe if we get hungry enough, we can just eat this fella."
I don't think that'll be too good for your stomach. I bet you that would come out really kind of badly.
You see him kind of turn his horse ears, your sonar ears, your direction.
I just kind of say, "We're just joking."
He doesn't seem offended or anything.
But I'm just kind of Mr. Shaw. He's looking ahead of the line. He's trying to get a gauge of how much longer it's going to be, and if there's going to be any food left.
Yes. As you guys come up, there's only a couple more people in front of you, and they're, like I said, each person is only up there for 10 seconds, 12 tops maybe. He's turning them out pretty fast, and it seems as though it's still, not bubbling over by any means, but he's certainly got it filled up to the brim on himself there. So yes, the strange, deathly zebra person. Takes his bowl, nods a nod of gratitude, and continues off. And
he just nodded. That's it. He didn't make a deal or anything. What? I guess we just nod. Is that the deal?
I guess so. I don't know. Let's just play it cool. So I let Mr. Shaw steps up, and he awaits a bowl.
Sure. So he fills it for you, hands it to you, and sort of turns at you. Oh, guys.
Mr. Shaw gives a nod of gratitude,
and he continues doing what he's doing. Hands Eldon on a bowl.
Mr. Swick will hold out his hands and
gives it to you. And he continues doing what he's doing.
And I just walk away like I stole something out of the store.
Yeah. Yes.
I guess that works.
Yeah. Mr. Shaw just.
$5 discount.
Mr. Shaw's like, man, he he's he's watching Mr. Swick drink that, see if he's fine after, and then follows.
Wrong pipe.
Yeah, Mr. Shaw's just devouring it, just like using the spoon, then gives up and just like shovels it into his mouth directly.
Eldon just gulped down like half of his bowl of his piping hot bowl down down his windpipe. In all honesty, he probably would have drowned if he wasn't a water goblin and can't be killed by water. But in his haste to get the food down and his muscle memory, or his body like taking a second to remember the way things work. Yes, it's not quite the most pleasant of ordeals, and yet you both finish your soup and feel legions better afterwards.
So yeah,
Oh, good stuff.
man, that was probably one of the best free meals I've had in a while. Probably because I haven't eaten in a while.
Yeah, we just had to like headbang and he gave us food. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna take it as it is. I'm not gonna question it.
So are you guys going to explore the market more, or have you had enough of this nonsense?
Mr. Shaw.
What about that woman with the face? That pale face over there. What's up with that bitch?
Mr. Shaw is like, I don't know what's up with her. Maybe go have a word or something.
Sure. And like I said, to refresh, she has a lot of oddments, although there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of rhyme or reason to them, but none of them seem mundane, and even the ones that look maybe mundane, you assume aren't, probably.
Mr. Shaw just kind of looks at Mr. Swick. He's like, well, what would you want to say to her? I mean, none of that junk looks useful to us.
I don't know, but she looks like she could just kill you if she didn't like you. So maybe I shouldn't talk. I have a way of, well, you know how I am.
Yeah.
Let me stop things for a quick second and ask, I should have done this before the game, but ask what your respective wits and composure are, so I can make checks for you guys.
Right.
Ask now before getting into it.
Right. My composure is 2. Wits and composure?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, yeah. It's composure is 3. Wits is 2.
All right.
Okay, and then my wits is 3 and composure is 1.
Okay, cool. Okay, sorry. So you guys are going to approach this sort of gothic-looking woman?
Yeah. I'll approach first. Just
All right. She seems really relaxed.
So-
Good evening.
Mr. Shaw walks up. He's like, "Oh, good evening there. So, can't help but ask, what are you peddling here?"
All manner of rare and exotic items, she says from, like I said, her hood's not covering her face, but she says from underneath her hood and her black hair. Rare and exotic items that can be of use to travelers, adventurers, entrepreneurs, of both the hedge and Arcadia, and even on your side.
Mr. Shaw grabs like the closest thing to his hand, just kind of pick it, just so he doesn't seem like he's just there to loiter, which he
Okay.
kind of is.
So what is it?
I don't know. Let's say maybe like some kind of scientific calculator or something. He picks it up and he's just looking at it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I used to have one of these." Huh.
Did you now?
Yeah.
You 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 look on the back and you see initials on it, the initials NS.
He's like, "Neil Shaw, hell, NS. This is probably mine." As he's like, I remember this thing back in college. I wrote some games for this thing. Hell, there's a lot of tricks this thing can do.
Yes, there are quite a number of things that it can do, even more than you're aware, probably. Well,
Yeah.
this is there have only been a few times within my career that I've encountered a previous owner, at least to my knowledge, a previous owner of one of my goods. This is quite interesting indeed.
Well, no, it's kind of strange to see that just a little calculator I use got so much mileage on it. Man. Why? So what other uses does this thing have, as you say?
So you're sort of looking it over, shaking it, maybe turning it on, hitting a couple buttons, and as you do, the screen flashes up, but a visual flashes up on it. A visual of Eldon Swick getting embraced by thorns and brambles and crying out in pain as thorns and brambles just embrace him and skewer him through.
Like him in his like mortal form, I guess, or
Him as he looks now.
Oh, okay. I see that. I just kind of put the calculator down. I'm like, huh, that's strange.
It
kind of looks over at Swick.
What's
What's strange? What did you see?
Can tell the future.
Oh, jeez.
Unfortunately, the future can be mutable, which I suppose, if it wasn't mutable, the item wouldn't be much good. However, it gives you a possible glimpse into the future. Something that maybe you can take steps to prevent or take steps to ensure, for all that you see may not be.
There's no way that thing is cheap.
Well, what would you want for it?
If I'm not mistaken by the lost look about you two, you're on your way out back home. Am I wrong?
You seem to be correct.
There is something on the other side that I long for. Something that I've been trying to get my hands on for a very long time, and it has proved to be exceedingly difficult. If you would be interested in procuring this for me, I would gladly give you the calculator, as well as something else, as a gesture of good faith. I would even give you one of these things now, before you've filled your end of the agreement, if you wish.
Well,
We should ask what it is.
Yeah, what is it you need?
The first smile of an infant child, she says with a subtle smile.
Uh,
I don't think I could procure that for you. As
the hell?
Job puts the calculator down again. He's like, I'm sorry, but you know,
It's not like you can put that into a coffee cup and bring it over here. What the hell? What the hell are you talking about, lady?
I
How the hell would you collect that?
I have tried on several occasions, and I can assure you it's not the easiest of things, which is why I'm in great need of it, you see. Here.
Do you want to take a picture of it? What are you talking about?
She grabs the calculator and hands it to Shaw. Here. As a gesture of good faith, and as I said, should you return with this smile, I will reward you with another good, something very rare indeed.
well, I'm gonna certainly try my best, but to be honest, I don't know how I can get this for you.
Unfortunately, to your question about photographs, what do they call it? It's been so long that I forgot. The technology, I think it is. The technology from your world doesn't tend to go over too well in the hedge. I don't know if it's the weird or the crossing over or what it is, but from what I've heard and in most of my personal experiences, pictures and the like generally don't work too well. Also, if you're looking to stay on the DL from anyone, electronic devices seem to be a one-way ticket, a beacon for true Fae, the gentry, to find you. If you wish to try such a means, well, I'd like to see the result. But it has been attempted and failed before.
Well, we're gonna
Perhaps something a bit more personal, a bit more concrete would do the trick.
well, I'll certainly try my best.
What about a drawing or a... Yeah, what about a drawing? What a drawing of what it looks like? Would that count?
I don't think that a replication would be. If I simply wanted a smile, then any smile or a replication, any replication of any smile would do. But I'm looking for something a bit more exotic, a bit more specific. I suppose if somehow you had the artistic capability to render a smile, undoubtedly the first smile of an infant child, then that would do the trick. There can be no doubt and question about this smile, you see. Other than that, I don't really care the form that you bring it in.
Maybe a memory. But we're gonna have to try our best, I guess. But I thank you very much for this calculator.
The market will be here for another 5 days, and then we'll be moving on to another location. So if you wish to find me within a timely fashion, that would be your window.
Alright. Well, we're certainly gonna try our best then. Won't we, Mr. Swick?
And I wish you the best of luck.
Guess we'll go to a hospital. I feel like some creepy baby stealer or something.
Yeah, I feel like a
But we
weirdo
have to
now.
get out of here first. I mean, we can't even get out of here. We don't even know how to get out of here. Maybe I'll see an exit.
We should maybe talk to these guards up
I
here.
don't know. Should we just start wandering around?
I don't think that'd be a
Yeah, I
good
guess.
idea.
I just have a bad feeling about them. Like they're gonna. I think they're just gonna like throw us away or put us in jail or not like the way I look. I don't know. Well, why don't you do the talking? I'd probably start swearing at him or something.
Yeah, we can't have that now, can we? Just stay close, Mr. Swick. 'Cause, you know, Mr. Shaw, he's approaching the town guard, or well, the little caravan guards.
Sure. They're sort of paired off around the perimeter of the place. A couple maybe mull about through.
So yeah,
Like I said,
got
one's
it.
tall and skinny, and one's sort of short and fat.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to the tall and skinny one.
Yeah. Big
Uh,
mustache.
Mr. Shaw, he steps up to him and says, "Hey, hello there. Me and my friend here, we're fairly new to the area, and we're just kind of trying to find the exit."
Yes. Well, which exit is it that you're looking for? His mustache moves as he talks. There are many ways in to the hedge, just as many out.
Well, you know, we're just trying to get back home. I believe it was Clearwater. As he's looking back to Mr. Swick, he's like, I can't even remember where I'm going.
Clearwater? Yeah,
Yes.
that sounds
Well,
familiar. Yeah.
I believe I know of a suitable entrance that you could reach in a matter of minutes.
Oh, wow.
He sort of hesitates. I really do hate to be the sort of a bloke that oh, gosh. I don't like to be the sort of a guy that only offers help if help is returned. However, I must admit I'm between a bit of a rock and a hard place.
Well, we all are, I guess, so. What seems to be the trouble?
Well, I can't speak too loosely about it right here, right now. However, there have been some concerns lately, some slavery concerns regarding, well, not the goblin market itself, but it seems as though a third party is looking to have their own enterprise, and they seek to draw their pool from the patrons and owners of the goblin market. This will not stand. You two
Slavery. That's
have never
bad.
been... indeed. I'm sure this is something that you two can get behind morally, seeing as though you were once in bondage yourself.
Oh, hell, slavery's not a good thing one way or another.
Well, at any rate, we shouldn't speak any more about it now, but if you're willing to help me in the future, maybe in a few days before as we're getting ready to leave the market up and move along to our next spot, maybe if you two would return and lend me your services, I could have some use for you. Of course, I do not wish to throw you in harm's way, or by any means. As guard, I ensure the safety of all denizens of the hedge, not only the goblin market. However, I cannot guarantee that the task that I have for you will not be dangerous to some extent.
Well, as long as you're not getting us to do anything stupid, I guess we can maybe work something out.
Indeed, we are very professional about this. We take the highest level of security into consideration with all things. You will have the full guards of the Goblin Market behind you should anything happen.
Well, yeah, I guess we could do it. Mr. Shaw looks back at Mr. Swick and says, "What do you say?"
I think we just go with it. We'll come back here and be guards, whatever. We're coming back anyway to bring back the baby face or whatever. Just go, whatever. Let's get out of here.
Oh man. So, Mr. Shaw kind of collects himself and takes a I'm laughing in character and out of character. So.
Yeah, totally.
Fuck. Yeah. So Mr. Shaw nods agreeingly, says, "All right, yeah. I think this is a deal we can hold up."
Oh man. Yeah, and the guard too is fairly amused. You've had your fill of the hedge in Arcadia, I see.
I'm done. I want out of here in the worst way.
Well,
I just want
return in 3 or 4 days and seek me out here. Johann.
All right.
My name.
All right, you have a deal, Johann.
So, come with me. He sort of walks over, and this clearing, as I'm sure you guys have imagined by now, has various paths leading in and out of it, various archways or whatever through the hedge, and he takes you to one of these and sort of gestures down it. Take the third door on the left. Not the second and a half, but the third.
Second and a half.
Second and a half. Well,
This place is giving me a headache.
He walks back to his posts.
so, Mr. Shaw waves, and then turns to face the path.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Whatever. Let's get out of here.
All right, let's try and find this third door, not the second and a half.
Let's see if that deal I made with that devil-faced prick back there actually does anything. Doorway. Where the hell are you?
Mr. Shaw kind of, as Mr. Swick is kind of going around, Mr. Shaw just kind of peeks down at the calculator, like he has it sticking out of his pocket. He just kind of peeks at the screen, hits the on button.
Okay. So you guys are walking through, and you get to the You get to the third. It doesn't take long at all. They're pretty much lined up. It's almost like a hallway of sorts with different archways on either side. Strangely enough, you guys get to the third one, and Eldon is about to sort of looking about to take a step there to see what's up. And each of these, sorry, I should have specified. Each of these little doorways is just simply like the path goes just for a couple feet, and then there's an archway, and then that's it. It doesn't branch off into other paths or anything. There's just like a stone gateway of some sort, and then some of these have a stone wall on the other side, or just more thorns and brambles. But there are sure enough archways. And yeah, you get to the third one, and Eldon's about to take a step out, and as he does, you sort of get a funny feeling, Shaw, and you look around and you see that this part of the hedge, this gateway where Eldon is about to step, is the same part of the hedge that you witnessed him get skewered through on the calculator earlier.
At this point, Mr. Shaw just kind of like just puts his hand on Mr. Swick's shoulder. He's like, "Listen,
Oh, what?
back there in the market on the calculator, I saw a visual of you getting torn apart by these thorns."
That doesn't sound good. I guess I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah,
I think I've been swindled.
this is the spot. I don't know. Thing is, though, it's like it could actually be the way, but I don't know. Because as the lady said, pretty well, everything's not as it seems. So
That
So
so
I
obviously
can get out of here, but it's gonna tear me up.
So you guys don't have to tell me that obviously your characters take a bit of a closer look at the area, and you see that this door, which at first you thought this door was just made out of some like sort of green colored stone, you realize that this door itself is made out of leafy hedge-like material, and you see it's fairly well camouflaged, but you see a face. Its eyes is closed, but you see a face, and once you look, you see sort of the outline of arms too blending in. But it appears as though there's a creature of some sort in front of you, pretending to be a doorway, just sort of lying there silently.
I'll like reach my arm out and start pushing Mr. Shaw back.
he's stepping back.
Thought you were gonna say you're reaching your arm out to the door. I was like, whoa. Sure. So you guys both tentatively take a step back, and this thing doesn't react, doesn't open its eyes, doesn't move at all. Yeah, you guys take a step back.
I pull out one of the medical tools that I stole from the bag of that cat creature, and I'm holding up like a rusted, broken scalpel in front of me with like blood stains on it.
Mr. Shaw just looks at Mr. Swicky.
We should keep walking. This
That thing's not much of a machete you got there.
fuck him up if he comes towards me. But let's get out of
Right.
here. Let's go find some other doorway.
And also, there's what I described as I think like an egg beater, an egg whisker, but it's got serrated blades. There's that nonsense too.
I'll like sort of
just for reference.
I'll sort of
Sure,
toss
so-
it and spin it in the air over Shaw. So the bladed whisk goes flying through the air towards his hand.
Shaw grabs it. He's like holding it. He's like holding it ready to like egg beat something. Egg beat a hedge creature.
Sure. So you guys have backed away from that doorway and go to or that archway and go to the next one? Okay.
Yeah.
This one looks to be completely as mundane as you're gonna find, I suppose, in here. Doesn't look like there's any hedge creature lying in wait here. It's simply sort of an old stone. It's got sort of moss creeping in through the bricks or the pieces of stone, the cracks. Yeah, you guys walk up to this, and it's just, I don't know if you touch it, but it looks like there's just a stone wall on the other. It's a gateway, but there's stone on the other side of it.
Eldon will reach forward and
I don't know how this works.
he cuts his hand with a scalpel and puts his hand on the doorway.
Ow!
Sure. And as you do, you burn a point of glamour as a faint silver aura, a light sort of shines, whoosh, begins to shine through the cracks on the other side of this door, and one of the a knob of sorts forms right where you put your hand, even if it isn't in the conventional place where a knob would be. Wherever you put your hand, a knob just sort of forms. Obviously, you pull back and whoosh, you guys are flooded with light. So much so that
my eyes! Ah!
make a willpower roll, Eldon.
Willpower, alright. Or how's that work in New World of Darkness? Can I just burn one? Is that how that works, or do I have to roll it?
For you right now, I just want you to. Yeah, you could burn one if you want. Yeah, but let's do the roll first, just to see if you're affected by it, and then you could burn one if you want.
Okay. I got 1-8.
Okay. So yes, you stop in your tracks. You're flooded with light.
What do you see? My eyes feel like I got daggers in them.
Mr. Shaw, he's like trying to squint through the light. He's trying to see ahead. He's like, man, I can't see a damn thing through all that. Do you think this is a good idea? I mean, this isn't even the right door.
You feel a gust of wind come through this, and it carries with it some leaves and some dust on it. And as it, strangely enough, as this dust, not like you're clouded with it, but as some of this hits your nose and your face, and you feel this, it feels different. There's wind in the hedge and there's leaves in the hedge, but it doesn't feel like it should. And this feels like it should.
It's got leaves. Maybe it's like a patch of woods or forest or something. I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna jump.
If you go, I go.
You coming?
I'll be right behind you if you do.
Fuck it.
And Eldon jumped through the gateway.
So the Darkling is forced to go first. However, he's so fed up with with all this bullshit that but although he's certainly terrified, he doesn't think twice. And the two of you jump out and sort of land. By the time your eyes adjust, you certainly find yourself. You can tell by the smell and the feel before your eyes adjust. You find yourself in a forest, a wooded area. Something that indeed resembles your hometown of Creekwater.
So we, once we come to, I just like, I look around. Mr. Shaw, he looks at himself and then looks at Swick. It's like, we still look the same.
What? Wait, oh, how? My parents aren't gonna take me back looking like this.
Oh, shit. Not just that, how's everyone else gonna react? Shit.
I got these pools of water in my eyes. Like what the hell? I don't know what's gonna happen. Are we just gonna live in the woods like hermits and like steal stop signs and make houses out of them? What the hell we gonna do?
Oh, we can't do that. First thing we gotta do, we're gonna have to. Do you remember where your house was? I mean, I was pretty new to Clearwater. This place seems kind of alien to me.
He'll sort of look around, and he sort of gets this sort of hunch. He's not really sure where it comes from, but
I think it's that way. Down the hill.
Down the hill. Well, if you need help getting there, I can help you.
I think I've been here before. It's really fuzzy. Ugh, my eyes hurt.
We can take a rest if you need it. I mean, we've been wandering for days.
No rest. Just keep moving. I don't want anything else coming out of that doorway.
that doorway. I'll look around to see if the doorway is still there. Like, what is the doorway here?
The doorway is simply a giant sort of hollowed out or eaten out notch in a tree that perhaps some animals live in, smaller animals. But yeah, it's just a big sort of hole in the tree.
Remember that if we want to take back the baby. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Let's just focus on getting you back home.
Write down, both of you, under pledges, write down Goblin Market pledge, or just Goblin Market. You'll know what it means. That's just representative of, obviously, the deal that you made with the guard.
All right.
And the other things are trades, so they're not pledges. It's like this for that. But you guys did make an agreement, so. Okay, so anyway, that was just a mechanical side note.
So Eldon will just start to move down the hill.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Eldon's just moving down the hill. Just he's reaching up, grabbing branches, and sort of bracing himself, and sort of swinging down in places, and landing on old dried leaves.
Sure. You guys begin to excuse me. You guys begin to head down the hill, which yeah, most likely it's at the town is at the bottom of the mountain, not the top. You guys begin to head down the hill, and maybe let's say about an hour has passed. You guys aren't. Certainly you're excited to be back, and now that you have natural, normal life and nature animating you instead of the powers of the weird and magic, you find that you lose a lot of your energy, and yet you also gain back a different sort of energy, a far more stable, sensible sort of an energy. But of course, by no means is all of the weird wrenched out of you guys. You guys still have quite a bit flowing through your veins, and you're going downhill. Of course, you guys stumble and fall a couple times. Neither of you are exactly the most coordinated of people, physically like that. Well, Eldon's fairly coordinated, I guess, but his legs are still kind of gelatinous, so they kind of sort of give way beneath him sometimes. However, by this point, your bones are are pretty much back to normal. Your skull has fully formed. You don't have the soft for like the whole half of the session. Your skull had formed, but you still had a soft spot like babies do. But now that is finally closed back up, and you guys make your way down this mountain. And as you do, you suddenly come upon a lake, or I suppose more of a pond. It's not too big there. And sitting there is a boy. Looks about 9 or 10. He's sort of sitting there fishing in this pond that doesn't notice you guys.
See the kid.
Mr. Shaw is just like, let's just avoid the kid. We might freak him out with our appearance.
How are we going to interact with anybody?
Oh, I've read Frankenstein before. I know they're just going to chase us out of town with pitchforks and torches.
So you guys kind of stick to the cover of the forest, the foliage cover, but I assume still make a perimeter to where the boy's within your line of sight. After all, that is the way that you're going.
Yeah, we're just going along the tree line, but we're not directly trying to be stealthy. We're just going about
right.
business.
Sure. You notice, as you're still obviously quite a distance away from him, but you notice as you get a bit of a better look that this boy looks almost ceramic, almost porcelain. His skin and his features, as many children I suppose are beautiful typically, but this young boy, although he's wearing not filthy clothes, but sort of he's wearing like a brown suit, something that it's really anachronistic, kind of strange, something that you would see like the Artful Dodger wear, or Oliver, or someone that runs with that gang, where he's just wearing like his whole suit, pants, shirt, tie, everything, obviously boy-sized, is just kind of sort of a rusty brown color. He's got sort of dirty straw blonde hair. It's kind of bushy. But yeah, his clothes are old. Nice clothes, but not in the nicest of condition by any means. But he is an incredibly beautiful boy.
Mr. Shaw leans over to Mr. Swicky and says, "What the hell? That boy's dressed like my grandpa."
That doesn't look right. I don't know what. He looks fake or something, like some mannequin hanging out in the. I don't know. It ain't right. I don't like it.
Do you remember the city commissioning an artist to put a statue at this pond?
You think they made a statue of a boy fishing? That sounds kind of well, fishy, actually.
Hey, you never question the liberals nowadays. Let's go ask him a couple questions. See if we can get some directions. It's like we
get
slowly
freaked out when he
approach.
sees us, but
I'm freaked out seeing him.
So you guys.
But like, yeah, I try and lead him the other way, but like kind of not going towards his back, but like going around so he can see us and hear us coming instead of like thinking we're trying to sneak up on him.
Sure. And he's a boy too, so it's assumed that he's pretty aware of his environment. He picks up on a lot. He's a curious young lad, assumably. So he's sitting there, and sure enough, he takes note of you guys and freezes as soon as he makes eye contact and sees you guys. He freezes and doesn't move at all.
And
he slowly drops. He slowly drops his fishing pole gets on his feet and runs at you full speed with a huge smile on his face.
At this point, Mr.
Whoa.
Shaw kind of steps
What?
back, like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait, whoa.
He comes.
What's wrong with you, kid?
He embraces Neil Shaw fully. You made it back! You made it back! You're alive! You're alive! He grabs your hand and kisses it and hugs you profusely.
I'm like trying to get him to step back a little. I'm like, whoa, 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 what you talking about?
Yeah, talking about you. You made it. Sorry. He sort of makes a quick attempt to fix his hair. Not that there is any fixing it. At any rate, he just sort of brushes out his face, wipes the dirt and worms and stuff off of his hands. Huh. Danny boy. He puts out his hand for you to shake it.
I kind of look at it. Neil Shaw hesitates for a second, then reaches out and shakes it. Neil Shaw.
He looks over towards this water goblin. Also with a big smile on his face. He reaches his arms out to embrace Eldon.
Yeah, I'm Eldon, and Eldon Slick. Can you see us, or like what we look like?
Yeah, I can. You see, well, does anyone know you're here? Did anyone follow you? Who did you talk to? Who did you talk to on your way out?
Well, we
Don't think so.
were at the Goblin Market, and there was a guard.
Is that it? Come on. We should probably walk as we talk.
Okay.
He goes back and grabs his fishing pole.
So yeah, I give him a
I guess
second.
we should get out of here in case anybody comes after us.
Yeah, so we wait a second as the boy like gathers his stuff and starts heading our way.
Right.
You know,
and he doesn't have much.
Okay, yeah, I just give him the rundown about like how we escaped from our keeper, and then how we got to we met one-armed guy, one-armed Sam, and then got to the market, and then we took the wrong door getting out that the guard told us to. So I give him the rundown for all that.
Sure. Oh, well, it seems like things will be okay then, right? I mean, that one-armed Sam guy seemed nice enough, and well, he was the only one you really gave too much of your information to. So, hey, this just may be all right. I mean, how do you guys feel? You're back.
I feel more level, to be honest. But wait, so you're telling me you came from there as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It was about
Yeah, hold on there.
70 years ago that I got back.
What's your name?
Danny boy. All right.
That's your real name? I just thought you were jacking us off.
Oh well, well that's what everyone knows me by now. Anyone that I talk to calls me that. Yes. Regarding names, you guys might want to tread lightly as far as that is concerned. You see, as far as He seems reluctant to even mention anything about the true Fae. He's just mouthing all of them. You see, some people say that their names hold a lot of power over them. So unless you want to summon one of it's best not to
not to talk about their names, not to think about their names, not to think about them, and not even to think about them as a whole. In fact, we should stop doing what we're doing right now. And if you think I'm paranoid about it, you haven't even seen the Winter Court yet, okay?
Wait, so are you trying to say that there's more of us out here?
Oh yeah, it's kind of a phenomenon for a town of only 4,000 people. There's nearly 100 of us on record now living here. It's quite a big ratio indeed. For some reason, it seems this is a breeding ground, you might want to say.
That's kind of... So
here
you're
we are.
saying that many people got taken, and then they came back.
Well, hell, where are the police
Really?
in this situation?
Well, this is, of course, you understand, over the entire history of the town, even before the European settlers were here. We have evidence and stories of activity from the others. Why it seems to be so important to them? Well, some of us, I suppose, seek to answer that question. Most of us just accept it and focus on other things. But yes, this is, of course, 100 or so changelings, but this is over the period of 150 years, so it's interspersed, little rhyme or reason to it. And by this point, you guys have come within a sight of a cabin like smack dab in the middle of the fucking woods. There's no trail, no grass trail, no dirt trail, no like, you know, I guess maybe you could take some ATVs out here, but like this cabin's remote as shit. And you guys finally get there. Ah, here we are. This is my home.
Nice place you got here, buddy.
So you got cable TV up in here or something?
Oh yeah, we have Netflix. Although, well, sorry, you guys probably don't know what that is. But we have our means. We get by.
Once Danny Boy contradicts Shaw, his smile goes from a smile just to He's like, oh. My joke backfired. And then Shaw's like, what the hell is a Netflix? So we're Shaw.
Is that like something you catch fish in or something, or what is that?
Well, it's maybe you guys remember on demand. You just get to watch movies, or shows, but you watch them when you want to watch them. At any rate, yes, we do have some technology. This is a perfectly suitable place to live. Just because we're freaks of nature doesn't mean we have to live like freaks of nature.
So is that like on CBS or NBC? Like,
you guys.
What are you talking about?
I think a lot of these things maybe you guys just need to experience for yourself. Suffice it to say, there's a lot of
wait a
catching
minute,
up in the world
it's probably on the public broadcasting system, right? PBS. That's probably where that Netflix is on, right? Like right after like Mr. Rogers.
I know what Mr. Rogers is.
What?
So Mr. Shaw is he's like looking at this like little cabin. He's like, do you guys even have fresh water and food out here? I mean, like, how do you get by out here?
There's a well not far from here, not far at all. By this point, he opens the door and you guys walk in. This is a fairly
really nice, in fact, cabin. It's 2 stories. Most likely has a basement too, and yeah, there's ample room for a pretty good sized family to live here, should they so desire. But he opens the door. Bobble,
wait a minute.
Bobble, we have new friends, new people. He says as he sort of rushes to a door, opens it up, and looks assumably down a staircase. Bobble, Bobble.
Well, wait, you have a well here, like a spring? Like, does it look like all ancient and like? Is it by a cave?
Ooh.
Please don't say it's by a cave.
No. That's not a good well to drink from.
Yeah, I wish someone would have told me that when I was a kid. That's not close to here, is it?
Well, it's on the other side of the mountain. Wait. You're that. I mean, I never paid much attention because names being what they are, but you're that Eldon Sway? It was a big deal.
What do you mean, Nat Eldon Sway? What are you talking about?
Well, when you disappeared, there was a big deal, a big search to find you, and well, as it turns out, the water that you partook in, whatever you did, I don't know what you did do. To be honest, I don't want to know. But whatever you did do, there's something's weird about that water. I don't know if it's the land or the air or the water itself, but there's a strong connection, far too strong of a connection with Arcadia there. And luckily the Changeling Society got a hold of it and managed to quarantine this place off and keep it from falling into the hands of any other people since then. But it was certainly a big deal, the biggest publicized thing that we've ever had regarding us in this area.
Well, my parents must have been heartbroken when they never found me. Like, are they all right? You're being quiet. What's wrong with them? Are they okay?
I'm not. I mean, it's. How long has it been since you've been gone? I'm sure they've found some way to deal with it. I'm sure. Bobble.
How long at that
point? At that point, Bobble, dink, dink, dink. You hear what sounds like sort of glass chinking up against itself. Bobble, assumably, has made his way up to the top of the stairs, and as attractive as Danny Boy is, Bobble is like completely what the fuck. His entire body seems to be made out of glass, like colored glass. Most of it is sort of round, like those like old bulbs to those sort of outdated lamps from like the 70s and the 60s and stuff. But yeah, his entire body, and he's sort of a portly. Everything about him is sort of rounded off, and the only thing about him that's that looks to not be glass is, you know, the metal, the panes holding the glass together. And he's wearing on his head like the glasses with the various you know, microscopes or whatever. I don't know what those glasses are called, but he's got one of those on his head.
Hello?
Hello?
Greetings.
He procures a briefcase and a vial and a little file. He comes over to Eldon. If you don't mind. He sort of scrapes off some of your goo into this vial.
Eldon sort of flicks his eye juice, that like shimmering little pool of liquid oil, and he just sort of flicks it at it.
Oh. Quite strange indeed.
There's your sample right there.
Well, I'd like to conduct a thorough research and investigation on both of you, your anatomy and experience, emotional, physical, and mental state before and after. Of course, this doesn't need to be done now, I suppose, but if we could do it before too long, before it wears off, this could be of great value to me. You sort of see Danny Boy rolling his eyes in the background.
I think this guy wants to see us naked. Creeper.
Well, that's just starting base. That's just the first level, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think a little bit of research would be nice. It'll at least give us some more answers. I mean, I still don't know anything about what happened or what's going on.
You're not touching
Judging by the look
me.
of you, I think I've already had enough of all of you that I want. But judging by the look of you, he points at Shaw, you seem to be perhaps a like-minded individual, a man of science, higher learning. You can respect such things, can you not?
Yeah, well, I used to be an engineer. Worked over at the nuclear
The more
power.
that we learn, the easier this could be for people in the future. People like you.
Oh yeah, well, if you need any help with anything, just let me know. I'd be glad to help.
He rushes down to the basement and comes back with two empty Coca-Cola bottles, just like 20-ounce bottles. And like the one Eldon was in at the first session. He comes with the...
You keep that away from me. You're not touching me, and I'm not going back in the fucking bottle.
Whoa, talk about a trigger. Listen, I'm not looking to force anything upon you, okay? If you don't want to be part of my research, then fine. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to deprive you of what the research of others has brought us to pass. Here. And he gives each of you the bottles, although are not empty, although they do not have Coca-Cola in them. They have sort of a pink. It almost looks like Pepto-Bismol, but a bit more watery, just sort of a pink, transparent liquid. I'd recommend both of you drink that immediately before you start vomiting weird out. Literally, it's not pleasant.
Well, here goes nothing. As he like pops a cap off and like. Mr. GM, what does it taste like?
It tastes like carbonated Alka-Seltzer, sort of.
So, yeah, Neil Shaw, he like downs it and gives like a burp and then a bit of a hiccup.
It's got sort of a, I guess it's kind of bland, sort of just a club soda-y taste to it.
Oh, well, that's that's got a bit of a tag to it, I guess.
Yeah,
There's your
don't worry
bottle
about it.
back.
Well, Lord willing, you'll never have to drink another one again, provided you don't wind up getting enslaved again.
Oh well. I will.
Listen,
Don't you
This is
think
an
that?
awkward question, but is there a hospital around here?
Yeah. Danny Boy steps up. Yeah, there's of course, there's the Creekwater Memorial Hospital.
Oh yeah. Hey, we got something to do. And I reach over to grab Shaw by the shoulder, and I just start walking towards where I think the hospital is.
Mr. Shaw,
They both nervously look a bit at each other. Just be careful. Be really careful. Okay. Don't get caught. Don't have anything come back to us, and well, just be safe. And also, they seem a bit hesitant to tell you something. Don't expect things to be what. Well, don't expect anything.
Yeah, whatever. Come on, Shaw, let's get out of here.
Shaw takes a second to kind of think about what they said, then follows behind Swick.
All right. So you guys go out and continue your journey down the mountain.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. So you guys continue for a couple of hours, and now you are in the land of the sun rising and falling. So time goes as it should. And after a couple hours, perhaps still very alien to you guys, although I'm sure comforting in some small way, once the sun has retreated behind the tree line, you suddenly come within eye line of the town, the downtown area here. You can't really see it until you're right up on it because it's in the midst of it's a mountain town in the midst of a forest.
Oh, there she is.
So how on earth are we gonna get in there looking like this? Smile. You gotta draw it, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. This is a terribly thought out plan.
Well, if we don't give it back to her, I'm sure she's gonna come find us.
Yeah. I don't know. Guess we'll have to try and find something. I mean, maybe
I hope
if
that
we ask
calculator was worth it.
yeah, I tried to return it, but she seemed adamant on getting that smile.
To be fair, you may be dead without the calculators, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true. Just a sort of out of character thing, guys. My wife will be coming home soon, and it's getting close to 5, so just a little time heads up.
Okay.
Right.
Well, to be honest, I think this is a pretty good spot to leave off. If y'all want to do that.
I think I've found a GM weakness. I cannot do one-offs and have them end in a unless it's like Cthulhu and it's like, he rises and you all go insane or die.
You get too into it.
Well, how about something like this? How about just to sort of narrate the ending? We managed to get what we want. We make a quick drawing of some baby on some hospital napkin or something from the cafeteria. We scare the hell out of the mom. There's a little local news story about creepy guys drawing pictures of babies' faces that ends up in the paper. But I don't know, something like that.
I wouldn't mind to keep going with this if you guys want to. I mean, I think if a one shot turns into a full kind of campaign, it means it's good enough. So.
Oh, I guess if we can schedule and get our schedules lined up.
It's up to you guys.
It's up to you. It's up to you guys. I know. Yeah, I know. Scheduling is, obviously the one and only,
stumbling block or whatever, but no rush too. I mean, if it doesn't happen for a few weeks or even a month, I don't know, we could go back individually and watch the videos to do our own recap, or if we do it in a week or two, that's cool. If you guys want, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But you guys are back. You have returned from the hedge, all in one piece. Well, Tim Eldon traded some of his pieces for other pieces, but
And I think
those organ thieves.
I think I screwed the both of us with that deal, but whatever. You win some, you lose
It's okay. It
some.
made it more interesting. That's kind of how you make things interesting. I think in Changeling, you
That's
kind
true.
of get yourself in hot water.
That's true, exactly. But I'm fine with picking this up. I mean, it's summertime, so my schedule's pretty open. I can keep going whenever, as long as we have enough notice, we can post it out, and all that
Cool.
cool
Well,
shit.
Yeah.
thank you guys for playing, and thanks everyone for watching. Anyone who's tuned in or who's going to watch this later, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for running it, man. This was good. I'm looking forward to the next session now. So we got to get ourselves out of this hot water.
And I'll put links down in the description below for Bash's and John's channel if you guys want to check them out. And thank you very much for running the game. I had a blast. Hopefully I wasn't too annoying.
No, you were perfect.
I had a lot of fun.
Oh, same here. All right. Well, you all have a great one. It was fun.
All right,
playing,
guys.
And we'll meet back in a week or two or something.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys on Facebook.
All right. Peace out.
Thanks.